So today is a bit of a miserable day. It's raining outside, it's cold, it's windy, and it was the day that I wanted to go out and take some pictures for a new print that I wanted to upload to Etsy. And I don't particularly want to go to my studio because although it's dry in there and it has a heater, it's just much more comfortable staying inside the house. I'm hoping the sun will come out at some point and I'll be able to snap some shots of my Etsy print so that I can upload it. But while I'm waiting for that miraculous moment to come, I thought I'd instead do a bit of work on another print that I've been wanting to make, and that is a print of the London History Museum that I started working on a couple weeks ago and haven't touched it since. So I've sketched out the interior of like the main hall of the museum, and I'm wanting to paint that today so that I can later scan it and add it to my print idea that I'm wanting to make. That is what we're going to do this morning. I've made myself a cup of tea, I've got my painting set out, so let's get going.
So close your eyes, do you feel the same? Only thing that matters, without change, I will let you into my mind's deep. The color that falling tears that have been long asleep. The lights are out and heaven's open. We can be everything we want. Oh.
So I've finished putting in the lines for the interior of the museum. All I have left to do is add Dippy the dinosaur, which is actually the dinosaur's real name as well. I'm not making that up. All the lines that you can see at the moment took 40 minutes, so this painting is definitely going to take a little while to finish. But that's completely fine. I'm worried that I may not get it done in a morning, but we'll see how we go. Okay, so it's finished. I quickly just went over the lines for Dippy the dinosaur. It's not too bad for someone who's never drawn a dinosaur skeleton before. It's in no way accurate, as you can see. But I sort of like how it turned out, really. So all that is the basic lining for the artwork. And now it's time to paint it, and then I'll add more details in later. From the photo that I found on Pinterest that I'm sketching from, Dippy is surrounded by like a glass frame, but I'm just going to leave that out for now. There's a couple of other things that I have left out, but as long as the whole idea is there and it sort of looks like the interior of the Natural History Museum, then I'm happy. I'm imagining this picture will be like shrunk down, so in a way those little details that I have missed out, you probably wouldn't be able to see them anyway. So that's the idea. Now let's paint. Now I'm going to start off with doing the floor first, and just do like a grey wash over that, and then I'm going to add all the browns because there's a lot of browns in this picture. So my idea is to start with the lighter colours first and then work up to the darker colours, which is what you're meant to do in watercolour, but it's the process I don't always follow, so we're going to definitely try this time. I feel like it's going to take a while. Still worried that I'm not going to get it done this morning. I don't know why I'm trying to corner myself into finishing a painting in the morning, but that's just how I work. Let's see how we go. It's getting ever so close to lunch now. I'm getting hungry, so I may just put a pause on it for now and then continue with it either this afternoon or a whole nother day. When it comes down to me and doing watercolors, I always feel like it starts off looking so bad, but if I persist with it, it will all come together and it will look stunning. I deliberately put it next to like my 1800 Bristol era painting, because that's sort of the same aesthetic that I want it to look like. I want it to look very gritty and grimy and dark. So yeah, it's looking very plain and very bright at the moment. I'm hoping to really bring down those colours. We'll see over the coming days how this progresses. Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna go now. Bye. So a week has passed since I last recorded anything, and I haven't added much to my painting that I was working on last week at all. But in the meantime, I have printed out some more prints for my Etsy shop, and today is still a bit of a cloudy day, but it's somewhat bright outside and it's as good as I'm going to get. So I want to take some pictures of the print for my Etsy shop, and I also want to add a couple decorations to my studio as well, because when I was making my print, I always do like a test print, and it didn't come out very sharp. I had a few settings that were wrong, but it wasn't terrible either, so I don't want to sell that at all. I'll just keep it for myself and I'll use it as decoration in my studio. So for a while now I've had the idea of hanging up like a piece of yarn and putting some little pegs on it to hold up prints and stuff. So that's what I'm going to start today, and hopefully get some pictures of this print for the Etsy store as well. So let's go. So this is the print that I'm going to keep in my studio for now. I mean, honestly, I don't think you can tell through the camera, but the image is just not as sharp. You can't see like the details in the watercolour as much as the other prints that I printed out that I'd be selling. But I mean, it didn't turn out horrible. The colours are still good and everything. So this one I'll just keep for myself, and it can just be a little bit of inspiration for my studio. I'd also like to get more of these pegs as well, because I've only got one. I don't know where I got it from, but that's what I'll use to like hold up the paintings. It will sit nicely on there and it will eventually look quite cute, I think. I'm hoping. Right, so here are my other two prints. I've just got them in like protective plastic for now. So what I'm going to do is take some pictures of them. I've got both versions where you can have like a square edge or a round edge, so I'll show that in the pictures. And the main goal is to just try and make the prints look as pretty as possible. So I'm hoping that the lighting will be okay, but I can always try and edit it afterwards. So this is just a print for my Etsy shop. So I'm hoping that it will turn out good. Alright, so I think I got a couple of decent pictures there. I need to work on my photography skills a lot more, especially if I'm going to be making things like prints and I need to sort of make them look decent through pictures. It's definitely not the most ideal day to take pictures of prints. It's cloudy, it's dismal, but it's meant to be cloudy and dismal for the rest of the week, so I have no choice. Got the photos for the prints done. I've added another decoration to the studio. Look at it, you can see it in the background, how pretty. I do have a couple more fairy lights that I could hang up here, but at the moment I honestly can't be asked. So I think that will do for the video now. So thank you very much for watching this. I'll see you again next week in another video. Goodbye.